everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show. Everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. How are you over there, Dr. Domonisa Hurley? How are you?
Fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm super excited because you're here today. And we're going to have ourselves a great time. Listen, everybody, grab your virtual seats. Go ahead and share the broadcast. We have an action-packed episode for you. So we're going to jump right into today's discussion. We're talking right now with Dr. Domonisa, and I'm going to be calling her Dr. Dom for short, just so you know, because I like the ring of that, and she's okay with it. So Dr. Dom is a native Harlemite. She's growing up in the heart of Harlem as the youngest of 8 children born to a single-parent household.
Youngest of 8.
Huh? I didn't hear you.
Youngest of 8.
The youngest of 8, right? That's what I said. Did I say 8?
8.
That's a lot. Youngest of 8.
That's a lot. That's a big family.
Yes. You have a huge family. Born with respiratory problems, she was diagnosed as an infant with asthma. However, this did not shape her involvement in school, community activities, and all of the things that she's done throughout her lifetime. And she's going to talk about some of those things. But while she lived in the projects on 125th Street, she received something that was game changer for her that would help with other residents that were going to be blessed as a result of what was received. These programs were for training and education and various jobs in the medical field. That's all I'm going to say right there, because I want her to share her own story with us. Dr. Domonisa Hurley, welcome to the Kim Jacobs Show.
Thank you so much, Ms. Jacobs. I appreciate you. First, I'd like to take this opportunity to just thank Ms. Jacobs, and she's doing extraordinary. She's making a difference in the world. I love the one household at a time, because we have to crawl before we walk. So in doing that, I thank you, I appreciate you, and I celebrate you on all the efforts that you are making in our lives.
Well, thank you.
Another thing, as a disclaimer, I am not here to treat or diagnose anyone, but I am here to provide information. Okay, that's what I do. I provide information as a doctor of public health, as an epidemiologist, as a respiratory therapist. There's many products that I do and I serve to the people, but I do not treat. I'm not here today to treat or diagnose you. I'm just going to give you some information that will help you along this way and give you more insight of respiratory diseases such as COVID-19 and other respiratory diseases, and how you can get and reach a point of optimum health, optimum respiratory health. You know, people say, the word says that my people will perish because of lack of knowledge. You know, information is power. Wisdom is power. Knowledge is power. And those are the 3 that's going to catapult you to get up and move and do something, you know. But the power behind the 3 is implementation. And then that's what we want you to take away. Take the information that we give you today and get up and go do something in far as your health and being the best version of yourself.
Wow, I love that. I love that commentary that you're sharing. And the thing is, a lot of different perspectives when it comes to COVID-19, but I really want us to focus today on it from the lens of a respiratory therapist perspective. So can you provide some insight from that angle regarding COVID-19? Because I think it's very different. So I want to hear your perspective.
It's very different. So before I can even speak on respiratory therapists, I have to just tell someone what is respiratory therapy. What
Yes.
is the field of respiratory therapy? So it's a highly specialized healthcare field that focuses on cardiology, pulmonology, sleep therapy, and cardiopulmonary rehabilitation medicine. Okay.
That's good.
Now, the people who render that service is called the respiratory therapists. We are focused and trained in critical care, cardiology, pulmonology, sleep medicine, cardiopulmonary medicine, and long-term care, short-term care, chronic, everything to help the patient in terms of their airway and their breathing.
That's good.
So that's like I would say the formal definition.
That's a good
Nutshell,
breakdown. So
yes,
people understand that when you're looking at it, you're looking all about in the respiratory system to make sure that everything is functioning properly from that perspective.
exactly.
And
So,
it's not just that it's only focused on COVID-19, but like you say, pulmonology as
yes,
well. And I know I can speak to that specifically because I have 3 children that kick cystic fibrosis in the head every day. And they live in my house, my own birth children.
yes,
And so you would be someone that would focus even in that capacity as well, that respiratory
absolutely,
therapist.
absolutely.
So
So
when you're looking from a respiratory perspective, you're looking to make sure that the lungs are cleared.
yes, so we focus on their airway and their breathing problems. We're going to be there to help you improve and restore function of your airway and your breathing. That's what we're here to do. So if we get called to the ER, our focus is before we even get there, are you ventilating? Are you oxygenating? That's what we want to know. If you're not doing those two things, then we are definitely needed. You know.
Okay.
So
So
it's
most hospitals are reaching out to respiratory therapists to come in after they've done all they can do, or are they reaching out?
we are called right when the patient either before they get there or actually they get there. And if they didn't call us before we get there, it's because they was like extremely busy. But it is their duty to call us there because if their breathing is compromised, a therapist must be there
Hmm.
because in the long run they're going to call us anyway, and we have to assess and we work with the doctors to come up with the best plan of care. What type of device that you suggest to put on this person, how severe is it. We come up, the doctors and the respiratory therapists come up with the exact care plan for the patient,
Oh,
but
that's
every
good.
patient is different. Every patient is different. But yes, we're in the mix.
That's good. So right from the beginning, you're working with the care team, you're making sure that everything's there. So we don't get to hear that much about the respiratory therapist. We often hear from the doctors or the disease
Mhm.
prevention department and all different areas, but we really don't get to hear that much from a respiratory therapist perspective. So what message do you want people to know about the forgotten heroes regarding respiratory therapy and COVID-19?
So first, I would like to say, even though the book is called The Forgotten Heroes, in a sense, that was the consensus that was going on in 2020, leading up to 2023. The consensus was that we were forgotten. That was the sentiments from the therapists. So
Wow.
I decided to be the voice of the voiceless, to shine a light on what we do, who we are, how we operate, how we
Yeah.
conduct business, how we help and save lives day in, day out, night in, night out on a
That's good.
24-hour basis.
Hmm. That's
We're
good.
not, we're not
And so
forgotten.
you've been traveling and teaching the message to people that, hey, there are these respiratory therapists out here too that also look at this tridemic and everything that's happening to help make sure that we gain better control of what's happening with COVID-19.
Yes. So with the tridemic, you have COVID-19, right? You have the flu, and then you also have the respiratory syncytial virus, right?
Okay.
So that's a triple threat within itself.
I'll
Um,
say. Yeah.
yes. All right. So when we look at COVID-19, I'm just going to run down like a few statistics, which is
Yes, please. And everyone, while she's doing that, make sure you let us know who you are, where you're visiting in from. And I do want to let you know that today we have some part two of our episode, which is going to be our next guest is coming up, is going to be Phil Walters, and he is blind but full of vision. And he's going to be here with us on the second half of today's show. And we have a big reveal, so stay seated until the end. Sam Cooke, legendary singer Sam Cooke. We're going to be talking about his child. All right, go ahead.
wow, wow, the big reveal. Okay,
Yes,
y'all
go
stay
Dr.
tuned. The
Dom.
big reveal.
Tell us some statistics.
Okay. So as of this morning, because what epidemiologists do, I got my doctorate in public health with a specialization of epidemiology. And what we do is we analyze, we collect data, we analyze the data for health issues. Okay.
Mhm.
So as of this morning, and this is in terms of COVID-19, right? The United States confirmed cases 102 million plus. Okay. The deaths 1.1 million plus. Okay. Now let's say New York. Okay, because we're in New York at the moment, right? Confirmed cases as of this morning 18 million plus. Deaths 75,000 plus. The cases are rising. Okay. Now the triple pandemic, right? It's based on when we look at the cases rising, right?
Right.
There's to determine what you have, we have to test. You got to get tested, right? That's the only way we'll know what you have, right?
Right.
So there are some indicators that okay, you know what? I remember Dr. Dom said this. Indicators for COVID-19, lost the taste or smell.
Okay.
If you have that symptom, rest assured you have COVID. But to verify it, you got to go get tested.
Okay.
Okay. With COVID, it's gradual. It's not sudden. It's a gradual process. A gradual process. So you may have COVID for like maybe a few days already until you
And then you don't even know
really
it.
can determine what symptoms you really have. That's why we always, when the contact tracing, we always say, when did you first know that you saw or had a symptom?
Right.
So that's COVID-19. The flu is sudden, right? The flu is sudden. So
Absolutely.
so what we do is we look at the symptoms: fever, right? Cough, that's common, right?
Right.
Fatigue. We're looking at the common indicators, what will determine that what you have, so to if you have 2 out of 3 of the symptoms, go get tested so you know what you have, and then you work with your doctor for the plan of action on how to get back to recovery, right?
And now with people getting COVID-19, I think because it's been around now for a few years, at first when it first happened, everyone was like, if you had COVID, some people even would keep it a secret. I'm like, who wants to keep it a secret? If you have COVID, you need to definitely just isolate yourself and let everybody that you were latest in contact with know. I would think that would be a given, but that wasn't the case. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, lack of information,
Right.
because in the beginning we didn't know,
Hmm.
you know, but in healthcare, we knew something was up.
Right.
As therapists, this sickness with difficulty breathing, my patients, I'm in December of 2019, and I'm getting patients, putting them on different oxygen devices, and then now we're in January, because I go on vacation and I come back and we're in January. Why I see the same patients still in the hospital? Something wrong, and then
Absolutely.
and their condition deteriorated. So they went from a simple oxygen mask device to critical, where you're on a ventilator, where you need assistance in breathing. That's a huge leap, and it was many of them. It wasn't just certain cases, it was a lot of patients like that, you know.
Right.
So we knew that COVID was here already, right? That's why they say COVID-19, okay?
Mhm.
Because it actually was here in 19, but it overlapped because they didn't have the information, and they had the infectious disease doctors just doing studies, and the epidemiologists doing studies just to gather as much information for the public, to provide to the public.
So how can people, because you say the numbers are rising and clearly the cases that I'm taking notes on here that you're referencing are not going in the direction that we're looking for them to go. What can we do as a community at large to be able to have some preventative measures in place to kind of reverse this thing?
Yes, right. So I'm all about prevention, right? So this is why I keep the pulse on the statistics, and I quickly say, because to this day I've never received COVID-19, and I, along with my other colleagues, been in the thick of it, in the mix of it.
Right.
You got
Same
what?
here. I haven't had COVID-19
Thank
yet, but it
you.
doesn't mean that you won't get it, but I just
Exactly,
haven't had it.
exactly. And so that's I just thank God for that. Preventive measures: wear masks.
Wear a
I'm
mask. So what you're saying is wear a mask regardless.
Keep your mask on,
Hmm.
okay? Um, Social distance. I would say, don't be in a crowd. And if you are going to be in a crowd, keep that mask on. If you feel like you want to go to a gathering, keep your mask on. That's very important. Good hygiene. Okay, you got to wash your hands. You got to keep washing your hands. You got to wash down your vegetables. You got to wash down your foods. When you go to the grocery store, you don't know who and what, where they've been, who touched what. So when it goes into the bag, right, you get your wipes, or you get your Clorox and your water, and you get a rag, and you wipe down everything before you bring it into your home. Okay, and then that garbage bag that they gave you, the grocery bag, don't even bring it to your house. Throw it in garbage, because you're going to wipe down everything before you bring it into your home.
Wow, I'm taking notes. Mackenzie, if you could take some too, that'd be great. So backstage, she's helping me. But throw the actual grocery bag. Somebody type that in the comment sections too, y'all. Let me know y'all out there taking some notes. But throw the grocery bag away
Yes,
before
throw the
entering
grocery
your
bag
home.
away. Why are you bringing that into your home?
And listen, when you say why are you bringing it into your home now, I am guilty of. I have a whole bag storage thing, so I not only bring it into my home, and please tell me if y'all are guilty of this, but I take the bag and actually store it in a bag storer.
Oh no, there's no need to do that. You don't know who touched those bags, and you don't know their hygiene protocol, right? You don't know
Hmm.
if they're practicing good hygiene. But one thing you do know, that you're practicing good hygiene. So you're going to protect yourself, and you're going to protect your family.
So wear a mask, keep your distance, good hygiene,
Yes,
keep washing your food and vegetables, wipe down everything before you bring it into the home,
yes.
throw the grocery bag away before you bring it into the home. Okay, I'm going to share that. All of that. I was over here typing it
And the
myself.
last thing, and these are some tips, right?
Wow.
Um, Build your immune system. How do you do that? Okay, I got like 6 tips, right? It's straightforward from the CDC. I thought the way they put it is just like totally accurate. All right, you're gonna eat well, right? Your fruits, your vegetables, your lean proteins, your whole grains. Either no milk or low fat milk, or fat-free milk, or plant-based diet.
Plant-based, okay, plant-based diet.
Plant-based diet. Okay, eating
Build your
well.
immune system.
Right, that's number one. You're going to be physically active.
Are you
Okay,
typing this, Mackenzie, backstage for me?
I'm not telling you to go to the gym. I'm not doing that. No, I'm not. I'm not telling you to go buy workout gear and all that. Nope. I want you to walk. Walking is the best exercise. Take 10, 15 minutes, or even 20 if you can a day. Just walk. When you walk, you are utilizing every muscle in your body.
Wow.
Okay?
I went,
Walking.
actually, walking also helps with your steps, because I have over
Exactly.
7,000 steps. Yeah, 7,500 steps already just from today, because I just walked outside and went walking. I was
Just
just like,
walk
whoa.
outside. Just walk. Okay?
Wow.
It frees you. It gives you a release. It stimulates your brain. It does a lot of things, but you have to be physically active. Okay? Number 3, maintain your healthy weight.
Maintain your healthy weight. Maintain your healthy weight.
Very important. Okay? How you do that? All right? So our BMI, body mass index, right? If it's 30 or more, you got to cut it down.
Yeah.
Okay. You can look up your body mass index in terms of your weight and everything, but you got to do that. So you're going to eat well. You're going to physically active. You're going to maintain a healthy body weight. Okay. You need to get enough sleep. You got to rest. You rest. Good. You re-energize. You rejuvenate, and you start again.
Wow. Okay. So reduce your BMI, your body mass index.
Exactly. Okay. You got to get enough rest. Okay. I was
reduce
talking
your BMI and get enough rest.
Power naps are very important, but you need enough rest. The body has to rejuvenate. The body has to re-energize. It can't do that if you always going.
That's a good point.
This is self-care. This is how you build your immune system in addition to the preventative measures.
It's not just resting. Even if you're not sleeping, it's just resting your body.
Resting your body.
Okay.
That's number 4. Number 5, quit smoking. If you smoke. I don't think I need to say anything else after that.
Quit smoking. Okay.
Avoid.
And this is from a respiratory therapist perspective, everyone. Yes. So she's like, save your lungs, spare your lungs type of thing. So
save your lungs, spare your lungs, so I can help you improve and restore function. Okay. Last, this is the 6th tip. Avoid too much alcohol. We didn't say
avoid too much alcohol. Somebody type that. Avoid.
We said avoid too much. We didn't say, okay, I got to stop drinking, occasional. No, I didn't say that. I said avoid too much. Okay.
Avoid too much alcohol.
Yes, because alcohol, smoking, that contributes to cardiovascular problems, cardiopulmonary problems. What's the number 1 cause of death in this world? Does anyone know?
Type in the comment sections if you know what the number 1 cause of death is. Let's see if you have a right answer. We'll pop it on the screen. What do you think is the number 1 cause of death? Now, you even have a second to go ahead and Google it. So just type it.
Exactly.
At this point, just type the answer. What is the number 1 cause of death? And go ahead, you can reveal it, Dr. Dominique.
It's cardiovascular problems, heart problems. It's
so important to be able to get a handle on the cardiovascular system and respiratory system. So quit smoking, according to Dr. Dom, and cardiovascular problems.
That is according to the CDC.
Right.
Okay. So that's number 1. Number 2 is cancer. You know what number 3 is?
What?
COVID-19.
COVID-19 is number 3. That's a big deal. So that rose quickly in the ranks.
Exactly. It rolls very high. This is why we have to get a hold on this disease and
Wow.
other respiratory diseases. Okay.
Wow.
Preventative measures is key. Testing is key. If you think you have it, if you think you was exposed, go get tested.
Mm. So don't try to hide or run away from it. Go get tested so you can get help so that
Right.
you're not having permanent. I know in my daughter's case, for example, when she had pneumonia, she actually had permanent lung damage, but we didn't know that she was even dealing with this. So that's how we ended up finding out that she had cystic fibrosis in that particular case. But you don't want to be having permanent anything if you can avoid it and know how to get it resolved through respiratory
That's,
therapists and physicians, your care team.
yes.
So this is some good stuff that you're sharing. How can people get a copy of your book? Because I want people to walk away knowing that today. The Forgotten Heroes.
Yes. So you can go to the Forgotten Heroes, rrtonthemove.com, and you can purchase a copy. And
Okay.
I will autograph it for you.
Go to the Forgotten Heroes, RRT on the move.com.
Yes.
The Forgotten Heroes, RRT on the move.com. And you will get an autographed copy from Dr. Domonisa, I love that, Domonisa Hurley, and it will be shipped to you. And thank you also for my copy as well, Dr. Dom. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it. The Kim Jacobs Show has been bringing balance today to the world, one household at a time with Dr. Domonisa Hurley. How can they stay connected with you on social media?
So you can go to Facebook, YouTube, and IG and LinkedIn as Dr. Dominisa.
All right. All right. Listen, what else would you like to share that maybe you didn't get a chance to share as a closing point, Dr. Dom?
Wow. There are many emerging diseases arising daily, through studies. Uh, the experts are collecting as much data and analyzing it and investigating it. But I want to say to the respiratory therapists, I want to say to the potential respiratory therapists, I want to say to the people who support respiratory therapy and respiratory therapists, know your role in the world, know who you are, know what you're supposed to do. Okay. My role, my purpose is to teach people to breathe again, live again. Okay. That's how I save lives.
Yes.
Right. I'm doing it as an epidemiologist. I'm doing it as a respiratory therapist. Find a cause that's bigger than you.
Yes.
And work towards it and doing it. And where you start from where you are. And then you begin.
Yes, I love that. That's very inspiring. And to all respiratory therapists around the world, we appreciate you. We celebrate you today. We thank you because you are one of the unsung heroes that are out there making a difference in the lives of those that do battle COVID-19, that battle with flu, and this whole everything that's happening in our lifetime here pertaining to our lungs. And I do want you to say something about the Saving Lives Initiative. Just say something about that quickly too, please.
So my Saving Lives Initiative. So what I do is back in 2014, 2015, I wanted to know what was my purpose in life, and I got the unction from God is that you're here to save lives, So how I'm going to do it, right? So first, I started a CPR business. So I teach CPR, right? Because I figure if I'm providing CPR, I need to teach people how to save lives in rendering CPR, right? But then when COVID hit, that was just a piece of the Saving Lives initiative. What I'm doing right now is I'm teaching people how to breathe again, to live again. Good. And how I'm doing that is I'm providing essential information on how to reach your optimum respiratory health, on how to reach optimum health. That's how we're going to breathe again, to live again. Yes. Regardless of what you go through, if you can just inhale what God has for you and release all the obstacles, the limitations, and everything. Just breathe. That's what I want you to do. Breathe. Inhale and exhale. And from there, you will know what to do.
Wow. Again, Dr. Dawn Monisa Hurley wants us to just breathe, inhale, exhale, and let's not forget the Forgotten Heroes, the respiratory therapist. Stay connected with her. The Forgotten Heroes, rrtonthemove.com. Get a copy of this book, and you definitely won't be disappointed. You're going to learn so much information. The Forgotten Heroes, looking at COVID-19 from the perspective of the respiratory therapist. A lot of help in that book, so make sure you get a copy. Thank you so much, Dr. Dawn Monisa, for being our guest today. Listen, we're going to take a commercial break, and then when we come back, we're going to come back with Phil Walters. I'm going to pull you in, Phil, just so you can wave at the people for a second. Hello, everybody. Yes, Phil Walters is going to be here on the second half of our show. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Thank you, Dr. Dawn Monisa. We appreciate
Thank you so much.
Take a
I
commercial
appreciate
break.
you.
We'll be right
Love
back.
you, and soon, y'all. Keep watching the show. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
I'm attorney Charles Everidge. I started out representing insurance companies until my father was seriously injured at work. 4 of his fingers were amputated. Our family went through a lot, so I know what you're going through as an injured worker. If you've been hurt on the job, call me now. I'll fight to get the workers' comp benefits you may deserve. I'll fight for you like family. Put my experience to work for you. Call 704-457-5000, the first call for injured workers.
Walters, how are you, Mr. Phil?
Hello? Okie dokie. It's all good though.
Oh, you know what, Phil? Can you hear me?
I can hear
All
you
right.
now.
Okay. It was on my end. The thing muted me. I was like, huh? You like, do not do this to me, Kim.
No, that's quite
Phil,
all right.
how are you today?
As I said before, I got blocked out. If I was doing any better, it would be illegal.
If you were feeling any better, it would be illegal. Okay.
Illegal. They would come and have to cuff me. They'd be like, take him away.
Take him away. Listen, everybody, Phil Walters, you all know him as one of our Freestyle Friday experts. He's a blind man that is full of vision. And I want to give him the opportunity to just tell you a little bit about his story, but then we're going to talk about some other things today too. Normally you see him on Freestyle Friday, but I brought him in today on purpose, and I'll tell you why. So Phil, tell everybody a little bit about your background.
All right. And thank you for the young lady who came and spoke eloquently from my birthplace of Harlem. You see, because I was born in Harlem, you know. I was born by the river, Harlem River, in Harlem Hospital in 1963. Y'all excuse me, I'm fighting a little bit of a cold, but it's okay because he cannot stay. Mr. Cold has to go. So I was born in Harlem in 1963 to Louise Rose Walters. She was the original Rose of Harlem. If you heard the Aretha song, yeah, I believe she was singing about my mother because she was incredible in Harlem back in the day.
Okay.
She loved people so much. She was a actual member of the Black Panther Party back then, not militant, but school programs, street lights, because people were trying to get out of Harlem before dark, so they're running over our kids. She never met a stranger, and she would collect stray cats, stray dogs, and stray people, clean them up, give them some food, put some clothes on them, and send them back out. And I've heard that type of spirit as well, and also from my dad, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But I'm a singer-songwriter producer who lost his sight 17 years ago due to retina detachments. And I'm not even a boxer.
So 17 years ago, your retina detached, and were you thinking that was going to happen in your life?
Well, I was told when I was little that I'd probably be blind at 12 or 13. So they were already preparing me with textile, learning the guitar, learning how to make things, arts and crafts, you know, using your hands. So I was always being prepared for that. So in the back of my mind, I knew it could happen, but I just lived my life. I mean, I played football till they found out. They kicked me off the team. I was in martial arts for years. And well, at that time I was 15. So pretty much the doctors didn't know that I was studying because I was already blind in my right eye at 7.
Okay.
So my left eye was the only eye left. So they didn't want me doing any contact sports. But because I had, and I'll show you because I'm not afraid of it. This eye's been glazed over since 7. It's cataract there. And so kids would pick on me in school, but I was always a big kid. So my mom's mantra was simple. You better not ever let me catch you starting a fight. But if the fight comes to you, you better finish it. Now, I was more afraid of my mom than the kid in the schoolyard. So
that is hilarious. So you were like, I'm not about to go home to my mama and have to deal with this drama. So I'm going to go ahead and handle this here.
Highway, get out of my way. So we were throwing the bows, right? But back in the day, I was into wrestling. See, I'll go back to Bob Backlund and Chief Jay Strongbow and all these old wrestlers, right? Bruno Sammartino. So the body slam was popular back then, but you're not supposed to body slam people on concrete. So I got in a lot of trouble with school, but my moms would come to school just as cool in Harlem, come into the PS school. I think it was 165, and she'd go simply, did my son start this fight? And they would say no. And my mother would say, get up, let's go. And she turned to the principal and said, I teach my kids, they have a God-given right to protect themselves.
That's right.
You don't take a knife to a gunfight, right?
No.
So she told us how to protect ourselves, never engage, always defense. But you have a right to protect yourself. God gave you this temple, and no man should be able to desecrate it. And that's it.
Wow. And so you have lived for the past 17 years totally blind, but you often say that you're full of vision, and you're actually one of our vision experts here on the Kim Jacobs Show. What does having vision mean to you?
To me, vision transcends your eyes, okay? Most people, when they turn 50, 55, 60, sometimes they get a little older, they already start developing cataracts. Right. These eyes were never meant to last forever. We were cut down to 120 years because of the garden, because of the sins of Adam. Wow. Not Eve. Let me help y'all with that. The first commandment was given in the garden to a man called Adam to watch over the garden, dress and keep it. When God saw he was lonely, he said, we ain't gonna have no bestiality up in here, so we got to make you a helpmate, not help meet. Let's correct that already. Help meet is just a translation error. Help mate, to walk side by side, the representation of that rib. Where is your rib? It ain't behind you, right?
Beside you.
It ain't gonna make me a sandwich. It's beside you. But a woman will cover a man's back if she truly understands her role as a queen. Wow. The queen takes care of the house. She takes care of the garden. She takes care of the man's back. But the king makes sure that the queen is covered. Wow. Adam dropped the ball because he could have said, baby, you done messed up. I done told you, Big Papa said, take all the fruits you like, but not that fruit. Because he did not want to be alone, because he already knew he was getting kicked out. He ate of that fruit. It was not Eve's fault. It was Adam's fault. And I challenge any man to say anything different.
Wow. Okay. Whoa. I see all of these comments that's coming in too. I see you saying, hey, cool gamer. Let me see some other comments. There's some good stuff.
You got this thing going on in America now, Kim. Where men are hating on our black women. Now, don't get me wrong. I got Italian in my bloodline too. I don't care what color you are. I will judge you by the content of your character, not the color of your skin, especially now. But when I see black men disrespecting black women, we got a problem in America. And it's an identity crisis. I got a pair of pants upstairs right now and I will not wear because they designed the pants to have it hang so low that my butt crack is coming out. What is that? Now listen to me. I don't want to say nothing rude and get cut off the Kim Jacobs Show.
You're not getting cut off. You're good so far.
I know exactly who I am. I am a man. I was born that way. Nobody has a right to tell my 4-year-old granddaughter that she can be anything she wants to be except a doctor or lawyer or a president. When you tell my 4-year-old that she can be a man or a woman, you got a problem with me. I'm gonna
And
leave that
again,
alone.
he's
That's live.
expressing his personal
This is my
opinion.
personal view.
So this is
Do
his
not
own personal views
represent the
on the
views of the
show.
Kim Jacobs Show. That's right. This is Phil Walters, nobody, who's trying to tell somebody about who can change anybody, right?
And Kim
I'm the most
Jacobs'
famous person you ain't
philosophy
never.
is I love everybody because I think that
Exactly.
God created every single person. So I
In his
love all
image
of you all,
and in
regardless of
his
what.
likeness.
All right,
Sorry,
so
I get
listen,
excited.
this is good. Somebody said there is no sound. Okay, thank you so much, Kim Jacobs, for this opportunity. It's been a pleasure, Dr. Dominisa, having you on. And shout out to Harlem. Shout out to Harlem. All right, so today, Phil, you came on for the second half of this show. As typically you have your keyboard showing and everything, but today I can hear you musically inclined back there. But today you came back to be one of our guests. Thank you so much, Mackenzie, too. So the views expressed obviously don't always reflect that of me or the show or anything, because I even have my own views that don't even reflect the show sometimes. So we have to put that disclaimer out there. Sometimes I'm actually saying stuff like, hey, Mackenzie will pop that up and say, hey, are you
Thank
sure
you,
you want to say
Mackenzie.
that? Yeah, I'm sure I'm saying it because it's my own personal belief of whatever I'm saying. But listen, today with Mr. Phil Walters. First of all, I want you all to stay connected with him on philwaltersmusic.com and also subscribe to his YouTube channel at Phil Walters Music, and make sure that you all support everything that this young man is doing. But today we are here because we're going to be doing a big reveal. And many of you may not know that legendary Sam Cooke, as we know, anybody that knows about Sam Cooke will go back and just read some of his bio. Sam Cooke sang with the gospel group, the Soul Stirrers. Before, let me put a picture of him up. The Soul Stirrers. I'll put a few images up. Y'all, you everybody know Sam Cooke, right? Legendary singer. And we all love his music, love everything that he was doing throughout his lifetime. The legendary Sam Cooke, right? So his bio says here that he is huge hits like You Send Me, Wonderful World, Chain Gang, Twisting the Night Away, all of those things. I can't play the songs because then I'll get a copyright claim. But if you belt the tune over there, you can, Mr. Phil.
I got you.
Forging a link between soul and pop, he had a diverse repertoire that attracted both Black and white audiences and started his own record label and publishing company. He died on December 11th, 1964 in Los Angeles, California. And there's so much more to his story, and you all can learn more about him. I'll put this bio link here in the comments section for you all to learn more about. But he has a child, which he's a father anyway, but he had a child. And you want to tell us a little bit about that child, Phil Walters?
Yes. I'm going to start back with my grandfather. Charles Cooke, C-O-O-K. Hang with me now. C-O-O-K was born in Clarksdale. Well, he lived in Clarksdale, Mississippi. Sam was born in Clarksdale, Mississippi. My grandfather moved to Chicago with the family to get away from Jim Crow, right? Sam started with the soul. I know you guys are going, what is he saying? Sam was with the Soul Stirrers around 15, right? Came into the group and they were a gospel group. Sam went secular, and his biggest hit at that time was in 1957 called You Send Me, okay? He was on the Dick Clark Show. I'm fast forwarding in 1964, April 4th. Keep that date in mind because we're going to go 4 years later to another tragic day on April 4th, 1968. Follow me, okay? Sam had a son who died in 1961 named Vincent. Barbara was too damn busy in the kitchen, so he drowned in the pool. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Very passionate about these things. Sam has children out here because he was a musician. You know, they traveled and they did their thing. My mother met Sam in 1962 around somewhere in Harlem, and she was a dancer, a very beautiful dancer. Kim, I'm sorry, pictures is not my thing. My sister's working on that. She's the historian. So we got to do a part 2 to this. Give me another 30 minutes somewhere else, and I'll have pictures for you. So they met Samuel Cooke, C-O-O-K, met Louise Rose Walters, they did the thing. And March 28th, 1963, I was born by the river in Harlem River, in Harlem Hospital.
Wow.
This is something my mom would never talk about until it got close to her death. In 2006, June 22nd, which is my baby sister's birthday, which her way of saying, look after your crazy little sister. And I've been trying ever since then. She never wanted to tell me because she was afraid I was going to end up dead like he did at the Hacienda Hotel by Bertha Franklin with a gunshot wound and a broomstick beating, which is a lie. But anyway, we'll get back to that on the next episode. He was not beat to death by a broomstick. He was beat to death a different way. We're not going to talk about that today. I have the autopsy. You and I will talk privately, Kim, about that.
Wow.
I am one of his children. I'm not the only one. There's a young
Right.
lady on YouTube now. Look her up. She has a Sam Cooke tribute band. She's what we call, as I've been called, illegitimate, bastard. You know the routine. Sam was married to Barbara. My mom was running Harlem, okay? He did not run her. He got wooed by her. Trust. If you look at the woman that set him up, Alicia Boyer, she was Eurasian, 22, flowing hair. My mother looked like an Egyptian woman because she was from Africa, okay?
Wow.
My great-great-great-grandmother was from Cameroon, okay? Untouched by the man in this country because they said she was so blue-black, they didn't find her attractive. I know she was a beautiful queen. And why my phone is going off, I have no idea.
Oh, don't worry about that. It sounds like some music, so it's
But
fine.
that's motherland music. When I said Africa, you hear the beat?
Oh, I heard it. I thought you
Right?
planned it that way. I'm like, I just don't
didn't.
want a
I did
copyright
not.
strike.
Somebody
So
who
I don't
doesn't
get a
want an
chance
interview is
to.
calling me. But listen, I want y'all to do this. I want you to doubt me. I want you to challenge me because I love a challenge. I've been blind 17 years. I get up every day with a challenge, right? Right?
Yes, absolutely. It's
So
it's
I
got to
will
be a
say this
challenge.
to you.
I see a lot of people commenting in too because people are like, "What? What?" Dr.
But
Tina
I'm
Ramsey
saying
said,
this to you.
"Like,
There's
follow,
another
share, and
son.
subscribe." Huh?
There's another son. I can't find him though. He's very secluded.
Okay.
We're part of the illegitimate crew. Listen, I don't want to get other people in trouble, but I used to run with the illegitimate pack. I'll tell you in private, okay?
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that
Okay.
privately. But what is it like knowing that you? How did you find out? How did your mom reveal to you? I know it was because you were going to be taking care of
Everybody
your
wants
sister.
to clean stuff up before they die.
Right. So
Okay.
right before she passed away, she said what?
Oh, by the way, you remember you've been asking me all these years and I've been not telling you, and she used to guilt trip me like, am I not good enough for you? Why you keep asking about your dad? Now it's like,
Oh.
hey, boom, deal with it. And I'm like, huh?
So
I'm like,
she just dropped it on you right before your
well,
mom
that was
passed
my
away.
mother. She was straight to the cut. She was one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, but she did not waste time.
Right.
And she had that gift. She was a seer, if that's what they
Wow.
call it. Some people call it discernment.
Interesting. So now that once you came into the knowledge of the truth that you are Sam Cooke's, legendary singer Sam Cooke's son, and you now know that information, how has that changed your life?
To be honest with you, it really hasn't. And I'll tell you why. Let me back up a second. I had to get confirmation from my spiritual mother.
Back up from the camera a little bit too, just so you know.
Is
Okay.
that good?
That's good. Here, what I'm going to do is I want to take a quick
You know I can't
commercial
see,
break.
Kim.
Huh?
You know I can't see. No,
I know. That's what I'm trying to help you. I knew that. That's what I'm trying to help. But what I'm going to do is take a quick commercial break, and I'm going to come right back after this commercial break and hear what it's like being the son of Sam Cooke, legendary singer Sam Cooke. We'll be
I
right
have
back.
peace of
We'll be
mind
back.
with Silver Shield Security, which has been protecting my family and home, along with servicing the Carolinas for over a decade. Silver Shield Security knows the importance of convenience and safety. Whether you live in an apartment, a home, or run a business, they are here to protect you from unwanted intrusions and fires. Call now at 704-440-4688 or visit the website at www.silvershield-security.com. You can use my promo code #ToneX and get 1/2 off your installation price. Don't forget to ask about the new no money down options. Let Silver Shield Security help to give you peace of mind, just like me and my family, and keep your business safe.
All right, everybody, we're back and we are talking with legendary singer Sam Cooke's son, Phil Walters, who just happens to be one of the experts on the Kim Jacobs Show. Who knew? I didn't even know that.
One of them. There's others out there.
Oh yeah, I'm just talking to the one that's here with me. I get it. He has other children and other family, and all of you all are welcome to come on the Kim Jacobs Show. So I'm not disregarding any of his children that are out there. We welcome all of you.
Yes.
So Phil, what was it like when you found out that you literally was linked to this legendary superstar?
I started reflecting backwards. I had to, because there were hints. Yesterday was Sam's birthday. He was born in 1931. My daughter's birthday was yesterday, January 22nd, 1987. One of his best friends was Aretha Franklin's dad, born on January 22nd. I bet y'all didn't know that.
No,
Sam was a
no.
mentor. Sam was a mentor to Aretha Franklin. I believe the song he wrote, 16, was about her. That's just my opinion. She was only 16, only 16. And I loved her so, but she was too young to fall in love. And I was too young to know, because Mr. Franklin would have beat his butt.
Okay. So these are theories that Phil Walters has,
Now, that's
right?
a theory.
That's a theory. So, but you still sound good and everything, but that's a theory. So now walking in his legacy, now that you have come into the knowledge of the truth, what has that been like for you in current day?
Thank you. That's the key word, current day. It's been off the chain, because I've met people along the way before I told folks. Because it's like this. Once I found out, I was already in my own production company.
Right.
I already had my own label back in Baltimore. I already graduated from Sheffield Institute for the Recording Arts, which is one of the biggest recording studios on the East Coast that nobody knows about it, because A-listers go there and they don't want you to know. Okay, I went to that school. I'm going to be recording in that school soon as Joseph Wooten accepts my invitation to arrange and play for me. I met him on your show.
Yes, a lot's happening here on the Kim Jacobs Show, huh?
Okay, I'm going to fly to Florida to hear him play with the Steve Miller Band on March 26th.
Awesome.
Now, my 60th birthday is on March 25th down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Y'all stay tuned for that. It's going to be a blast, as Don Cornelius would say. It's going to be a stone jam.
Okay,
right? Okay. So I'm in my studio now, but before we go, I'll give you a tune. I'm sitting here next to my digital baby grand piano that I can't afford. As long as I keep making the payments, it's mine.
You're good. Right. So the thing is, now, since you are musically inclined, do you feel like you're more musically inclined because of your mom or because of your dad, or just a combination of both?
Good question. And congratulations on your future television contract.
Oh, thank you so much.
See, that's what y'all better take notes from this woman. The Bible says, call those things that be not as though they will be, as though they were, is what it says. But your faith and what I just said will get that contract, because it's time for you to be elevated.
Oh, thank you.
Because YouTube is cutting people's viewing time, but they don't gonna tell you that. I did not share that on Facebook, and I'll tell you why. They've been ghosting me. They think the blind man don't know. Anything that you're doing to glorify God, they're gonna ghost you. But that's why the stock on Facebook has dropped. My opinion, my view only, has dropped from $340 less than 2 years ago to $120. You cannot block the word of God from coming forth. Anyway, back to the subject.
you off the chain today, Mr. Phil. You don't be talking
because
about.
We don't have a lot of time, but the Holy Spirit is working the room. So, what was the question again?
So the question is, did you actually get do you feel like you have more of your mom's musical gifts and talents, where she's dancing and doing all kinds of things, or both? Okay.
I'll tell you why. Sam was the crooner. Sam was the man. Sam had the lungs. That man, he's got riffs and ad libs. I'll play for you privately that I'm not trying to touch it. I'm not him. You understand?
No.
I've been doing this stuff unbeknownst to me that it was in the bloodline. Parallel. I've had production companies. I have one now. It's called Soundcast Productions. We're going
That's
to
so
Kenya to
interesting.
perform.
That's
We're going to
interesting
Kenya
how
to-
no matter
Right.
whether you know, just like kind of with Les Brown, when he went back and did his research on his grandmother and his mom and different people, he actually had motivational speakers in his they were motivational speakers unbeknownst to him. And here he is, one of the greatest in the world in motivational speaking. Here you are, a blind man that plays music, has your own production company, and making no excuses, like at a legendary kind of level. And your dad is Sam Cooke, but you didn't even know that. So
Let
then
me
you,
say this, Kim, too. We had a parallel life because not knowing that, my first business was at 15. Sam was an entrepreneur's entrepreneur. He
Wow.
believed in not only Black business, but he believed in putting people to work. And he didn't care if you were Black or white, long as you could do the job, but he was all about lifting up his people. Okay.
Wow.
He started stuff back in the 50s and 60s that got most people hung. Okay. He had a lot of enemies because he spoke the truth. Now, he got his temperament from my grandfather because Charles Cooke did not play with nobody.
Wow.
Charles Cooke had a situation in Chicago where I think it was LC. I think one of my uncles had a problem and the police grabbed him. Charles Cooke came out on the porch and said, "Let my son go."
Yeah.
The officer grabbed his gun, like touched his holster. And Charles said, "If you skin that baby, you better use it because I fights for mine." And he let that officer look at, it wasn't Charles that he was afraid of. It was the anointing. He let that boy go and went about his business. So before you give Sam all the glory, you better know where he came from. Charles did not play, and Charles could sing. Charles could sing. Okay. All the family, all the kids could sing because the mama taught them. Grandma taught them kids. Okay. Long time ago in Chicago. Before the Soul Stirrers. They had a group before the Soul Stirrers. So they knew the Cooke family was talented. Sam did not add that E until You Send Me because he wanted to make it a new start. There was no E on Sam Cooke before that.
Wow. So he was Sam Cooke until he kind of did it as his stage name. And then he became Sam Cooke with
added
the E.
the E. I just got off the phone 2 days ago with one of the family members because I knew they were family when I saw the E.
Interesting. So now that you are in the family, how does the family embrace you? How do they feel about you being this newfound family member?
No.
No?
No. When I first reached out years ago, they're beautiful people. But come on, would you believe the story?
Oh my God.
Let me say this to you. I don't want nobody to think for 1 minute that Phil Walters don't have his own money. I am not rich. But me and my wife have never missed a bill. And she's totally blind as well. But she saw the vision when there was division. I'm not trying to get money. First of all, I love the beloved family, but Al Klein inherited a lot more than the family ever did. And he was the entertainment lawyer for Sam back and did good work for Sam. Did good work in the beginning. But there are contracts that were signed that people believe that was signed after he was already dead. The family does not have the rights to the publishing. How is that possible? The gay family has some.
Well, we'll stay away from that legally because I do not want to be in any.
Well, no, what I'm saying legally, this is not you. This is not the Kim Jacobs show. This is my opinion.
Okay.
Also, it's in the public record. Look it up for yourself. If it's in the public record.
Is it confirmed? Because since you're saying that the family is not necessarily supportive of you being in the family?
No, they don't. Listen, I'm the most famous person you'll ever meet that nobody knows.
Okay.
I did reach out years ago when I found out, but I wasn't prepared, and they'd never called back, and I don't blame them because I'm sure they've gotten thousands of people. Yeah, I'm Sam's son. I'm Sam's son. I'm Sam's daughter. Because people want money. I don't want a penny from these people. I want to know more about my family because I got 10 grandkids now.
Well, I can tell you have 10 grandkids?
Well, I just found out last week I got another son. I told you I had some surprises for you.
Oh, so like you like father, like son in this case, huh?
Well, honestly, but not, because I love that woman. I was involved with a woman in 1982. I was a baby. She was 28. I was barely 20, and I was head over heels. She would not tell me anything about her. She didn't tell me about her parents, but she told me she was a PK, a preacher's kid.
Oh, oh.
She
Well,
was
listen
from
to
Long
me.
Island, and she came into the city to party. And two things I don't do, okay? I don't party with drugs because it killed half my family, all right? More of the musicians that we love died because of drugs. And my mom was strict about that too. You do drugs, I hurt you. Still afraid of mom, and she's no longer here, all right? The other thing I don't have to do is lie about who I am or who I'm related to, because I'm not trying to piggyback. I've been making music on my own. I have 2 CDs digitally published. Don't go look for them. I'm not asking you for money. I'm not here because of that. There is no money in streaming unless you're on the A list. And I guarantee you, Beyonce gets the same rate I do. 4 streams for a penny. Are you kidding me? I make my money on stage, merchandise. By the way, that's coming out. And
Wow.
angel investors.
That's, you know what? Well, I can tell you this, that if you all in the family that are watching are getting a repeat of this, it is definitely an honor and a privilege to know Mr. Phil Walters. And he has been nothing but a joy and a bright spot here on the Kim Jacobs Show. And everyone is missing out if they don't get a chance to know you, Mr. Phil. So I pray that God will bless you and your family, the Cooke family and all of your family, your grandchildren and everyone, to continue to just be able to get stronger and more united in this journey called life. So
because it's
that's my
nothing
prayer.
greater than family. Nothing greater than
Nothing.
family. And I want my
Yeah.
grandkids to know about their family, about this incredible journey that
Yeah.
I'm on. And I'm looking forward to, I believe, I don't know, nobody's called me, but I have a funny feeling. I love that young lady on ABC, Miss Hall. When I first heard her speak, I knew. She interviewed Shaka Khan on her show, and Shaka Khan do not do a lot of interviews.
Oh, I'm sure. No.
Because that Aries, just like me, is fire. People can't handle her heat. They don't know her journey. They don't know what
Right.
she's been through. And she started at 15, 16 years old, by the way, with Rufus.
Wow.
They don't know her journey. But you know who gave her a shot when nobody else would?
Who?
Steve Winwood. That High Life album, listen to Higher Love. She's backgrounding for Steve Winwood, and she killed that song.
Mm.
Go
Well,
out
I
and
know
buy
you.
it.
I know you want to be able to share how musically inclined you are as well. So if you want to do a 2-minute type of thing, we're going to get ready to close out. But I want to just say, I just want to say that I'm grateful that God revealed to you who your father is. And that is just, I'm sure, an important piece that was missing in your life, not knowing.
It was, because my mom, and I understand now, she was trying to protect me. She had to get me out of my 30s and 40s and 50s, because Sam died the same age Jesus the Christ did, 33 years old. He was planning to retire. You understand? He's been singing since 15. By the time he hit 33, he was already in the business 17, 18 years.
Wow.
That's a lifetime for child stars.
Yes.
Right? He was, you know what he said? I'm more concerned now about the young people coming up like Bobby Womack, but that's a story for another day.
Wow.
Because that was one of his proteges. Bobby was in a group called the Valentinos. I wouldn't have picked that name because Bobby Womack happens to be a brother. But anyway, that's not my story.
Well, I flashed
I
a
can
few
tell you things
pictures
that
of
are
your
not in
dad.
public.
I flashed a few pictures of your dad up. And again, we were talking about legendary singer.
Isn't he purdy?
Huh?
Ain't he purdy? That's a purdy
Yeah,
man.
he is very handsome young man. Yes, yes. And a wonderful singer. We know that. And
a
you all
wonderful
had the pleasure today
humanitarian.
of meeting one of his children, which is Phil Walters. So Phil, sing something for us, and we're going to get ready to close out. Let you all know that we will be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I'm going to do this in A flat because I've been singing since December and I'm a little hoarse. So this is his signature song everybody seems to know. It's about the struggle. This is for the civil rights movement. He wrote this song.
Yes.
I was born by the river in a little tent. And Lord, just like that river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know Kim Jacobs, a change gonna come. In fact, it's already here. Oh, yes, it will. Look out for 2023.
Wow.
It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. 'Cause I don't know what's up there. The honest guy. See, this man was born in the church, but he doubted when he wrote that part.
Wow.
It's been a long, because all the things that he saw, the fire hoses, a long time coming, the German shepherds, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. What's up, Joseph Boone? I know you're watching. I love you, brother. Yeah. I go to the movies, then I go downtown. Somebody keeps telling me don't come around, but I went anyway. It's been a long time coming, yeah, but I know. What's up, Mama Jacobs? A change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Then I go to my brother. And I said, brother, help me, please. But it gets rough sometimes, y'all. But hang on in there. But he winds up knocking me. Oh, Lord. To be continued. Don't know much about history. Don't know much biology. Get that chord. Don't know much about a science book. Don't know much about the French I took. But I do know that I love you. And I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this would be.
And the world is so much more wonderful because you are in it, Mr. Phil Walters. And that's not because you're Sam Cooke's son, but because you are who God created you to be. So thank you for blessing us today here on the Kim Jacobs Show with your big reveal. And thank you all.
Can you give me 30 seconds?
Yes.
I got to show you this now. I'm not going to make you dizzy, but I got to move this. I got to show you
Okay.
for Christmas.
While he's doing that, you guys, I am going to take one more commercial break and let you learn about CTR Media Network.
CTR Media Network was created for today's podcasters. We provide a safe haven for content creators that are everyday people doing extraordinary things. We have a system of positioning, monetization training, coaching, and support for our podcasters' success. CTR Media Network simply bridges that gap with a level playing field for your dreams to come true cost effectively. Our team provides a premium service and experience for our podcasters to grow. CTR Media Network provides access, support, resources, coaching, and community for our podcasters to win, if you put in the work. We believe that we are living in a unique time which requires you to share your message of hope with millions of people around the world. Remember that the world is never too saturated for you, your voice and message. A platform for positive impactful media where the content creators are in the driver's seat. Visit our website today by going to www.ctrmedianetwork.com.
All right. Okay. So, Mr. Phil, turn your camera so we can see what you want us to see right quick.
Ready? Can you see me?
Yes.
Ready?
I can see your finger.
Ready?
Yeah.
Hold up now. Merry Christmas. Can you see it?
What is it? A piano?
Can you see it? You don't see it?
Back up a little bit.
You don't see it?
Oh, yes. What is that?
That's a digital baby grand piano.
That is so nice.
I always wanted one of these. And listen, God clause, ain't no Santa Claus in my house. God clause made it possible for me to have it.
That is so incredible, incredible. You've also been invited to be a guest on another show. So just so you know, Mr. Phil, we need you to share your story on the Ignites show. Lotus Richey Ignites show is inviting you to be on her show as well.
It would be my honor, Kim. Help me with that. You know I can't see. So
I got you. I got you.
It'd be my honor. But I will say this. God is moving in 2023. I showed you this not to brag, but all things are possible to them that believe. Follow your dreams, your hopes, and your goals. It don't matter who. People should be more happy about my father being God. Right?
Turn the camera a little bit to your right shoulder. Yes, perfect. Right there. Right there.
People need to be just as excited about my dad being, I'm doing that to turn off my speech recognizer. Be excited that your name is written in the Lamb's book of life. Amen.
That's right.
People should be more excited that my father is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right? Okay, it's wonderful that nobody's going to ever be in Sam's shoes, and I'm not even trying. That is impossible. But I have my own journey, and I hope you guys will take it with me. God bless you, and thank you so much, Queen, for having me on your show.
I am so glad that you were on today.
And get
again,
ready, Kim, because John Harrell from Troop, he's going to be on your show next. I'm going to call him after this and tell him he must be on your show.
Well, you keep anybody coming that you refer, regardless of whether they celebrity or everyday hero people or whatever. If you refer them, it's a given that they're going to be on the show. That's the point. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for tuning in today to this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. I want you to tune in tomorrow. We have a motivational speaker that's going to be talking about why I advocate for the Black community and the disenfranchised. And he is definitely has some information to share with you. And then we also have coming up how I help children become their best mentally and emotionally. Her book line, Cindy Young's book line, is nothing short of inspiring. And we look forward to having her on as well. We also have our Freestyle Friday experts that'll be coming up. And you have great episodes all week long. So thank you all for staying tuned in for this additional big reveal. Thank you, Mr. Phil Walters. And where can they get your music? One more time.
Any digital music outlet. You can find me under Phil Walters or Philip Walters on Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, Deezer, Tidal, which is Jay-Z's streaming service. Support him, y'all. Support him because support him. Amen. And listen, you can stream it for free. I'm not in this for the streaming. Trust me. There's no money in it for me. Okay. There's money in what you guys do and support. Come to the shows. I'm going to be opening for some people. Can't tell you yet because they got to sign the contract. No money, no honey. Amen. All right.
Okay. All right, everybody. Have a great one. I'll see you all tomorrow again right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Stay backstage, Mr. Phil. Bye-bye, everybody. Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of the Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Kim Jacobs Show.